This is Michael Bosey. Thank you for joining me today. This is Marketing Without the Marketing, a little podcast that I've created to try to teach you everything that I know about content marketing. I've had a great time with this so far, so let's jump right in. Last week I talked about, how to pick the right customers for your business. And I'd like to talk a little bit more about this whole customer thing and really getting them involved, get them feeling like they're a part of what you do. And this can be really early on, even, while you're building the product or even before you're building the product, or later on while you're making the product better and iterating. And, remember, with all this, when you're trying to run a business, you're serving your customer. That's what it's all about. You are there to serve them. And, with content marketing as a part of your overall content strategy, you can make them feel really involved, invested. They want to feel like they're a part of what you're doing, especially if they like you. And you want to let them do that at least to a degree, right? You can't let them take over the business or, be calling the shots. That's up to you to do that. But you want to make them feel like they're a part of it. So let your customers in on the business in a way. You know the landscape better than anyone else, with the customers you're trying to serve. You know their challenges. You've crafted this solution to help them, whatever that is. And when you're building the product or a service or any solution for this set of customers, you really do want to have them be involved. And this is a very common mistake that I see with young businesses. Often what you get is sort of this very product-focused sort of, let's build, head down, get the product right, and then emerge with a finished product and say, all right, great, I got the ideal product, now how do I go and sell it? And I say that this is a common mistake because, or I should say I characterize it as a mistake because I just think you want to involve your customers as early on as you possibly can so that you're actually building the product that they want. You don't want to just build the product that you want. Sure, the idea starts with you, but remember, if you're there to serve a certain customer, then it better be a product that they're going to want to purchase and that they're going to want to purchase from you. Obviously, that's really important too. So, as much as you can and as early as you can, get them involved. And don't get me wrong, look, you got to build a great product and you're not going to want to have the customer, turn that into something that's not the product that you intended, but they have to have an effect on it. And you really need them. You really need your customers. This is a critical point when you're building the product to get them involved. You really want to give them a seat at the table. So here's why. There's a couple reasons, right? One is that they're going to make the product better. Look, it's your job to make the hard decisions. Again, I would never suggest that you hand over control of the product to your customers. They can give you useful feedback, but they're generally not very good at creating. That's your job, right? They're good at reacting. The problem is they'll just never say no to anything. If you say, hey, do you like this? They'll say yes. So, you let the customer drive and it's just going to end up, this mishmash of a ton of different features, which is not the way that you want to go. They'll never be the ones to tell you to subtract, only to add, right? And so that's your job to sort of control that. But look, the right input at the right time is immensely valuable to you and to your team. Just be careful not to give your customers too much of a voice because, you don't want to produce a bad product, and they're going to help you produce a bad product if you do that, right? So it's all up to you to find the balance. Now, another really big thing about this part where the customer's sort of helping you build this, now is not the time for selling. You've got to get the product right. So use this opportunity for what it is. Put away your sales hat and actually do the work of getting honest reactions to your work. Yes, let them help. Let them feel involved. Let them feel a part of the process. Make them be a part of it so they feel like that they're on your side, right? Because they're really the beginning of your core audience. But don't sell to them now. Just work on the product. All right, so let's shift to the second part. So once you're doing that and they feel like they're invested in it, yes, these guys are going to help you sell. In fact, these customers are going to become your best salespeople in the future. As I've said over and over again, in any business, your audience is your most important asset. This is why I always say you got to start this before the product's ready. You want to have an audience in place before you go out there and start selling. And once you do have an audience that trusts you, that listens to what you have to say, now you have something that you can monetize. This is the whole point of content marketing, but you've got to be extremely careful not to damage trust in that process. As I've said before, attention is really hard to earn, but I believe wholeheartedly that it's worth it because attention can be converted into capital. You can do something with attention, but it's very, very easy to mess that up if you're not careful. Now, your first cohort of customers, the ones who have helped you build the product that we were just talking about, right? That's the very beginning of your audience. They're the ones who feel the most invested. They like you. They feel like they're a part of the team. They feel like they're helping you. They're supporting you, and they're exclusive, right? They feel like, hey, we were there at the start. We knew them back in the day when they were just a 3-person company, just starting out, right? There's sort of an exclusivity to that, and that's awesome. This is a really special relationship at this point and one that you should really nurture. And why? Because, look, if you handle this right, like I said, this group is going to become your best sales reps. What you've built, the product, it's a good product. And as long as the product is sound and, you've built the thing that they want, it's a really good product, they're going to advocate for that in their respective networks. Each of these folks is an influencer to some degree. May not be a big audience. As I've said before in another episode, it doesn't have to be a big audience, but they have influence. And if they're psyched about you and they talk about you excitedly and willingly, they will find and convert customers for you. This is the power of advocacy marketing, or it's also called word of mouth marketing, and it's the goal of content marketing, right? Content marketing is all about sort of precipitating that transaction. And of course, you want to help them by giving them the content they need to actually create those customers for you. It's not their job to do this, but they're super effective and way more effective than you can be when they do that. And there's a great book, I've probably referenced this before, it's called Brand Advocates, Turning Enthusiastic Customers into a Powerful Marketing Force by Rob Fregetta. Such a great book. I'm assigning this to my students in my course just because it's all about that power of the advocate and how much more effective they are when they're doing this. Like I said, they're doing it willingly and they're excited about it and they're not being paid or motivated to do this via any sort of payment, whether that's, contest or actual payment or whatever. It's just all about them doing it because they want to. And when they do that, they're believable. And guess what? It converts the folks that they influence. It's just amazingly powerful. And this is why it's so important, like I said in the last episode, right, that you actually pick the right customers. If you've got the right customers and you apply them with the right content, you've built your business the right way, guess what? They're going to do the work for you more effectively and they're going to do it for free. How crazy is that? It's amazing that you could go out and hire sales reps or marketing folks to sell for you, but they will never be as effective as just the pure power of an advocate who knows what to say, understands your story, can articulate it to others, and is believable in a way that nothing you say about yourself can be. Just amazingly powerful. So I urge you to read Brand Advocates, just a great book. I'll leave a link to it in the show notes. Why not? And just great stuff. Really, really powerful. So anyway, hope that this helps you. Hope that you're excited to get your customers involved in your business. If you don't know how to do this, just start. Just ask a few. You know who your best customers are. Just go to them and ask. If it's on a Facebook page, that's great. If it's on Twitter, great. If it's via email, awesome. Just start to ask them some questions, some things that you want to know about your business, and then just make sure that you listen. That's what it's all about. Again, you're serving them. That's why you build this business. So check in with them. Even if your business is much further along and is not a young business, ask. I think it'll be worth it. All right, that'll do it for this week. Thanks so much, as always. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next episode.